In this video, I'll be showing you the snakes package. So if you want to drag in a new snake, you go to the models folder and just drag one in like that. There's 3 snakes in this package, a black, a green and a gray one. Let's just show those. There they are. So I'll be going over the snakes and all of their scripts and parameters. So when you see the snake, I'll just open up the hierarchy. This is the main prefab, which has an animator on it and uh, two custom scripts. And this is the skinned mesh renderer. The body has all the bones in it. And this spline is what you will be using to animate the snake. I'll just quickly show how you can use that. Okay, so I'll just remove 2 snakes so we can look at this one in more detail. So let's look at the animation system. Here you have the spline points, which you can use to animate the snake on. So let's just make it a little bit more interesting and position these. If you want to add, just duplicate the last one and you can add points. Or if you want to insert the point you want to insert the game object you want to insert to, and then press Ctrl Shift D to add one on that position. It's also here, duplicate snake spline point. You can see the spline in the editor window, and you can see colors. So blue means that the snake will stretch, and red means that the snake will squash. So if you go back to the snake and we say animate on spline, and let's just say speed 0.2, and we press play, you can see that the snake is moving along the spline, and you can also see the stretch and the squash. So let's make that a little bit more obvious, just to really see what's happening. You can see that the snake is squashing here and then it's stretching here. Okay. So that's not always what you want. Usually you want the snake to not stretch that much. What you can do to accomplish that is here in the snake spline script, you can say reparameterize spline. What this will do is you press this button. It will make a new spline here, which is all black. So no stretching and squashing. If you want to go back to your original spline, you just press switch to original spline. So this is very helpful. You can also choose the reparameterize distance. So if I put say 0.1 here and I do reparameterize spline, you'll see it actually makes a lot more points along the way. But for now, I'll go back to the original spline. So to finish up the parameters, here the distance on spline is if you don't want the snake to start on the beginning, you can just use this. You can also even animate this if you wanted to. So this follow speed we already mentioned, animate on spline we mentioned. Loop is if you want to do a complete circle, you can make the snake start at the beginning again. And we handled all of these. The only one is update spline in runtime, which can be used if you want to animate the path in runtime. That's something we'll look at later. Open up the snake scene. Don't save this one. This scene, if I'll just play it, you can see a couple of snakes which are animated, which all have different ways of animating it. So you can see the snakes crawling on the ground. We covered that animation, which is just a type of animation you just saw. The snake with its mouth open, that is a different kind of animation. We'll look at that one right now. So the difference between this snake and the other ones is that this has a different controller in the animator. And if we open that up, you can see there's two layers. Base layer is an animation, and the tongue has its own animation. So if you look at the spline anim threatening in here, you can see that it's just an animation which was made in Unity. Which opens the mouth. But what it also animates is the spline. So this point 6 and this game object 7 are also moving. So in order to make this work, you need to check this box, update spline in runtime. This takes a little bit more performance, so only use it if you need it. And finally, I'm going to look at this snake, because it's a little bit different. Because this snake curves around the pole. And in order to do that, you can turn the game objects in the root, but only on the Z rotation. So if you change the Z rotation, you can see it changes the angle. So don't try to rotate it like this, because it doesn't work that way. Just only do the Z rotation. So in the editor you can see the splines and you can see the snakes update in real time. If you don't want this to happen, for whatever reason, you can just close this, and now your snakes won't update in runtime. It could save you performance, for instance. Same thing if you see a scene like this, and you think, hey, what's going on? I can't see the snakes. Then it's probably the thing in reverse, you have to open it and then it will update.